All right, I have been excited to do this video because it's something that I'm very excited about. Um, there are a lot of people who come to us and say they have always had a heart to do foster care. They've always had a heart for foster kids, but they're just not in a place right now where they are ready to or are able to say yes to full-time foster care. I can't seem to start this video without pointing out there is a huge need for foster homes. Whether you're single, whether you're empty nesters, whether you're family, big or small, it doesn't matter. There is a huge need. And I just want to say right now, you can do this. There are people out there that will be so much better at this than I am. I am not a patient person. It is not my strength. I have handled so many things wrong. Our little guy has come to us and they come with triggers or things that, well, every kid has triggers that set them off, and I've handled it wrong most of the time. There are people out there who would do this better. My husband, however, he is pretty awesome, very patient. More people like him should do this. But I love making these videos because I used to watch foster moms on YouTube when we had decided to do foster care. I couldn't get enough. They made me feel like I could do it too. Just seeing this regular mom. I hate saying regular because these are super women, but just a woman like me, a mom like me, and she was doing this. And I loved seeing that. It made me feel empowered, I guess. So that's my heart behind making all of these different videos. And so I have to put out there is a huge need for foster homes, and you can do this. It does affect your whole life. All your relationships with your parents, with your in-laws, nieces and nephews. It does affect everybody's life around you, but it is so worth it. And it is for what you are doing for this kid, the life that you are touching and that you are saving, it's worth kind of having to readjust all these other relationships around you and all the things that you may have to go through when you decide to do this. However, that's not what this video is about. If you're in a place where you're just not ready to say yes yet, but you still have such a heart for these kids, some people, they're ready, but maybe their spouse isn't. This, I feel like, is awesome for everybody. It's called respite. I didn't know about this until I became a foster mom. I wish somebody had told me about this because it's amazing. When I was single, I would have done this. Respite is basically where you are a babysitter for foster families. If a foster family is leaving town over a certain amount of time, I think if it's over 2 nights, or if the child is going to miss a visit with their biological parents, then they have to get permission from the biological parents. Now, sometimes the biological parents say yes, they want their kid to experience fun things. Yes, they can go. Sometimes the parent is not ready for that and they say no. Our little guy was not able to go with us on a couple of our vacations because it was going to be for 7 days. Instead of us having to stay behind and not have family vacations because of visits or whatever, a respite family comes in and saves the day. Or a respite home, I should say, because it doesn't have to be a family. It can be a single person. It can be an elderly person. It can be empty nesters. I always think of singles and empty nesters for this. So basically you would get an email stating that this child or these children need care for 4 days or for 2 weeks or whatever it might be. Sometimes it can be really long, but the thing is you say yes or no. You can look at your schedule and say, oh, I'm available that week. I can do this. And so it's on your terms. I love that. So especially if you are single and you have a very busy schedule, or if you're empty nesters and you have a very busy schedule, it's on your terms. So I love it. You basically bring these kids into your home while the foster family is away for whatever reason. Sometimes the foster family just needs a break. That happens. And so a respite home is somewhere that the state will allow this kid to go because it's going to be over 2 nights. So respite homes are a huge blessing, not just to the foster families. They're a huge blessing to foster families. We need respite homes. But they're also a huge blessing to the kid. So for instance, our little guy stayed with a couple who they don't have kids, they're not doing foster care full time, they just do respite, and they make it their ministry. They bring these kids into their home, they call themselves the Kid Hotel, they have them sign a guest book, they take him to breakfast in the morning, they let him play video games. He had a blast with these people. He didn't want to come home. So he's like, I don't want to go. I want to stay here. So he loved them. They made it so cool. Another lady he stayed with just made him a part of her family while he was there. The day I dropped him off, she was already like mama to him. It was so cool how she was comfortable with him. It made him comfortable. He has loved all of his experiences in respite homes. They've all been pretty amazing people. So it's allowed him to see that there is other good in this world. These kids struggle a lot of times with seeing the good in the world, and seeing all these different places, having more people in their life to reinforce that there is good is huge. It's life-changing for them. Also, I forgot what so I was going to say, it's a huge blessing for the person doing respite. I've said it once, I feel like for singles and empty nesters, this could be so huge. You do it on your terms. If you get an email and it's a period of time where you're not going to have much going on, you say yes and you bring these kids into your home for a week and you love on them and you pour into them and you get to impact these kids' lives without bringing them in full time. It is literally like the best of all worlds. It's amazing. So we're going to do respite as well. So it's just an awesome thing to do, and I want to encourage anybody to do it. Get cert. Did I already say this? You have to get licensed as if you were going to do foster care. So you will take the classes as though you were going to be a licensed foster home, but they will just mark you as a respite home. The classes are educational and awesome anyway. Who knows, by the time you're done, you may decide that you could just do full-time foster care. I don't know. So take the classes, get certified, and then just do respite for a while if you want. I love respite. It makes me excited if you can't tell. CASA is another thing that I really love. It's a court-appointed special advocate. I think it's special. That doesn't seem right. But the court appoints a CASA to a child. So I think the court would appoint a CASA to every child in foster care because they are so valuable, but there just aren't enough. CASA is also something that is done on your terms for the most part. You do get certified through the state. You do have to take classes. I don't think they're as extensive as the classes to get licensed to be a foster home. I'm not sure about that though. But you do have to get certified, take some classes, and you become a court-appointed special advocate. I love it because it is what the word advocate, it is what it says. You are actually a voice for this kid, more so probably than the foster family. I think the foster family, the state's not always sure where they're coming from, so a CASA is somebody who is neutral. I feel like they really trust that this person has the child's best interest at heart, whether it be to go back to the biological family or maybe to be adopted. So you have, I feel like, more of a voice as a CASA for this kid. So CASAs are very valuable. Our little guy got lucky. He finally got on, he was on the list for one for like 6 months before he finally got one because there is such a need for them. And there's not enough of them. So he finally got one, and we got lucky. She comes every week. She takes him to ice cream. She takes him to the park. She's taken him to a football game. We got lucky. She's retired. She has no kids, and she just has a heart for foster kids. She used to do it in her old state, and since moving here, she doesn't have enough rooms. Did I say that about respite? With respite, you don't have to have a room for the kid, just a spot for a sleeping bag or a couch. So respite, again, anybody can do respite. You don't have to have a spare room. Back to CASA, she used to do foster care, she can't now. So she does CASA. She wants to impact these kids' life, and this is a way that she can do that. So she comes every week. And so she's at the court meetings, she's at the court hearings because she is an advocate. She is a voice for the child. So CASA is also a very valuable and amazing thing that I would recommend anyone with a heart for these foster kids. I would recommend you look into these two things. And if you, again, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I will answer what I can or get the answer for you.